Ladies and gentlemen, welcome after the break. And now we're talking about technology. We're talking about complex matters, something that's very new to me. We're talking about vehicle glass, and now we're going to talk about repairs. I had no idea one could repair so many cases of damaged glass rather than replace. I'm talking to Tomasz Kot, Sales and Marketing Manager for Autoglass. He knows a lot about glass repair, vehicle glass repair. Tomek, I love cars, I love all things automotive, and it seems like I may know a little bit more than an average person about cars and vehicles and the industry, but I had no idea one could repair vehicle glass and that it was safe to do that. Do drivers know about that? Well, indeed, last year there was a study that indicated that over 50% of drivers, vehicle users, had no idea that glass can be repaired. Yeah, there's not enough awareness about it. Yeah, especially that repairs can be beneficial for drivers, vehicle users, vehicle owners, insurance companies, or for our environment. If I heard that from someone who was not an expert, I would think maybe resin, repairs, it could not be safe. But actually, when I hear it from you, I can tell it's a good solution. Indeed, very good solution, very safe, totally safe, especially that, as we mentioned, we're putting safety first. One of the biggest advantages of repairing instead of replacing is saving time, because repair is 20 minutes. To repair, 20 minutes. Yes, a very short time. Replacement takes at least an hour. And let's remember that if you repair, you don't have to order glass or windscreen or anything like that. Yeah, you just go in to the shop. You know that you need a repair. There is a repairman. He does that knowledgeably within 20 minutes, and you can go. Yes, you can go. You're safe. Of course, each time there has to be an assessment, an evaluation whether this glass can be repaired or whether it has to be replaced. But many times it can be repaired. We save time. We also save money, especially that repairs are a dozen or so times cheaper than replacement. We know from what we've said before, the cost of glass replacement is going up, has been going up over the years. So the difference between the cost of repair and the cost of replacement will grow even further. Let's also remember that the cost of manufacturing windscreen or any other piece of glass, Autoglass, will just go up. Yes, plus our environment, right? It's important. We really need to take care of our planet. Indeed, we do. Repairing vehicle glass has much less impact on the environment, much less than a replacement, and we'll be talking about it later on. You don't have to manufacture or transport or store new windscreen, for example. So you're reducing your impact on the environment, your negative impact on the environment, if you choose to repair instead of replace. Sure, indeed. So as I promised, let's take our viewers to our repair shop. Let's see what happens when you repair. So I would like to welcome everyone at the webinar. My name is Damian, and I'll be your eyes and ears so that you can see how glass can be repaired. So, what do we need to do this repair? We need to make sure that we're safe. We need to have all the safety equipment. Right. Good morning. We're in one of the Autoglass repair shops. Robert is our technician. You've been here for 10 years, working 10 years, 250 days a year, over 10 years, 2,500 days, times 6 repairs a day. So 15,000 repairs or replacements of vehicle glass. So probably you can show us. So now the vehicle will be prepared for a repair service. So we're securing the steering wheel and the gearbox and all the touch points. So the gear shift, all the doors, everything is secured. Each time when a car comes in, we make sure that there are no other, let's say, signs of damage that what we're going to repair, namely vehicle glass. So we're checking the whole vehicle. Every single chip on the paint, every dent, we just note it down. So after inspection, the driver or the client signs the document where we have taken note of all possible small damages on the car. And let's see what we have here. It's a small chip, something, a little stone, a little pebble from the road hit your windscreen. There's a chip, right? So let's take a look from up close. Right, such a chip is something that we see very often. So how can we repair it instead of replacing the whole windscreen? We need to know how vehicle glass is structured. It has 3 or more layers. So I will show you this in the second camera. Modern vehicle glass has a layer of glass, 1 or several layers of laminate, and then another layer of glass. So what gets damaged is just the outer layer. So take a look. So let's go to our car, to our vehicle that we're going to take care of, the windshield that we're going to repair. In order to manage your repair successfully, you have to take a look at the size of the chip. It cannot be more than 24 millimeters, so a 5 zloty coin. And it cannot be closer than, here's your face. Well, no problem. It's happening live, so not to worry. Let's move on. So, it cannot be, in order to make sure that we do this repair effectively, we need to make sure that the chip is no bigger than 24 millimeters, so more or less the diameter of a 5 zloty coin. And it cannot be closer than 10 centimeters from the edge of the windshield, which means it will never, once repaired, it will never break. We give a warranty, so if our repair doesn't hold, then we replace the whole windshield. So we know everything about the damage, we know that it fulfills all the criteria, so we can repair it. Let's start. So I'm just checking again whether it's no bigger than 24 millimeters. Yep, we can do this. So you're checking the temperature of the surface, yes, because there is a range of temperatures within which we can do this repair. It's from 0 to 29 degrees. So I'm securing the car and the elements of the car, the wipers, from any possible issues or... Okay, there is a little mirror. Yeah, sure, I want to see what I'm doing. So this decompresses the damaged part because glass makes sure that the whole structure is rigid enough. In the past, in the old cars, these structures were not very rigid. Our modern windscreens are responsible for rigidity of the whole structure. When we remember Fiat 125 or 126, windshield was very small. It didn't provide a good field of vision. And it was the body of the car that was responsible for the rigidity of the whole structure. But in this case, the responsibility falls on a windscreen that is connected to the body. What you can see here is the latest state-of-the-art equipment for car glass repair. Vehicle glass has been evolving. Vehicle glass is thinner. In the past, the thickness was 7 to 8 millimeters. Right now, the structure can be as thin as 3 millimeters. But let's remember, this glass is responsible for the whole structure, for its rigidity. Plus, windscreen has all the cameras, all the sensors. The mirror is attached to it. So it's the scaffolding for all the other pieces of fitment, but it's very thin. So what's happening? I'm just cleaning out the damage. When you repair a windscreen, it's just like when the dentist treats your tooth. First, the tooth has to be cleaned, and then the surface can be repaired. So now we're doing the cleaning. Why are we repairing vehicle glass? One of the important elements here is time. Repair takes up to half an hour. Replacement could be more than 1 hour and a half. The process of glass replacement is much more complex, much more invasive. You have to cut out the windscreen from the rest of the car, then put the new one. You have to dismantle the wipers and all the other decorative elements, while a repair takes much less time, and you're just making sure that the chip is gone and that the repaired place is as transparent as it used to be, so that the driver can safely drive and see what's going on in front of them. Right now, you can see that the repair head is placed over the damaged part, and it fills the chip with resin. Unlike those resins that you can buy online, our resin and our device fills the chip completely with resin, making sure that the windscreen is going to be as durable and its performance is going to be the same as before the repair. One of the important aspects for repairing or of repairing windscreens is, of course, our environment. Let me show you something. In this container, you have vehicle waste from around 100 vehicles, so 100 windscreens taken out. So if you did, and after 100 repairs of windscreens, that's the waste. This is it. So here you see all the substances and everything that is left as waste after 100 repairs. So let's take a look at what's going on with our repair. So, what's going on? Right, the chip has been filled with resin, so we can move on.
Na wypełnione uszkodzenie aplikujemy twardą żywicę. Tak ją nazywamy.
We apply hard resin on the spot. We call it hard resin, but it's something that can be treated, can be polished, making sure that the glass is transparent and smooth. After making sure that the resin is hard enough, we're removing any excess. Now you're going to hear a rather unpleasant series of sounds.
To już jest praktycznie koniec naszej naprawy.
But this is almost done.
Nadmiar żywicy.
Right now, the excess of hard resin is being removed.
No.
And we're practically done.
To właśnie w tym momencie,
So,
w trakcie wykonywania tych końcowych czynności kosmetycznych,
this is when our technicians are putting final touches on the repair, when they have to be very focused and very precise. Because if something goes wrong, the whole fragment from the moment of placing hard resin over the chip would have to be done again.
reszta to już tylko kosmetyka.
And all these things that are happening right now, these are just final touches. In order to make sure that the final outcome is as good as possible, the spot needs to be polished, then the windscreen needs to be wiped clean and the driver can leave the shop. Thank you so much. Going back to the studio. Thank you. Over to the studio. Goodbye. Robert was doing the repair for you. Thank you so much. And let's go back to the studio. Right. This was a repair. There's practically no trace. You can't see what was repaired. But, well, for us to be able to be here in the studio, for everyone to be able to be here during this conference, we all had to go through COVID tests, making sure that we're healthy and that we can do this job. Same goes for windscreens, maybe not COVID, but there are certain diagnostic activities that have to be performed so that the technician can tell you whether they can repair your damage or maybe you would have to replace the whole windscreen. But anyway, I would like to encourage you to ask us questions. Jarek will very soon join me, will come to us from the workshop, and he can answer your questions around glass repairs. So please ask your questions. We'll be back after a short break.